Have you ever thought about getting into a brand new house? And I mean a brand new, newly constructed house? If so, watch through this whole video and I'll give you the ins and outs, the pros and the cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hey everybody, my name is Darren Rivers. I am the Northwest Realtor and welcome to another episode of Living in Gig Harbor. Hey, if you're new to this channel, why don't you hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell, you get all your notifications of the videos that I send out. You can share this with a friend. All of my information is right here as well. So, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, give me a call, send me a text, put a little comment in the comment section of this video. I'll get back to you right away, and make sure you share this with some friends of yours. Maybe they'll find it beneficial. Today we're going to get started on the pros and cons and everything in between of buying new construction and everything that's involved with it. So let's get started on that right now. So let's get started on this by going through the pros of buying a brand new construction home. And here's the cool thing. You are getting a brand new house, right? You're not absorbing anybody else's problems. There's no repairs. There's no defects. There's no hidden damage anywhere that the previous owner may have done. You are getting a brand new house. So that is obviously a pro. You walk in and guess what? You're going to put the first scratch in the floor and the first nick in the wall, but it's yours. You're not absorbing those problems. So it's really nice to come into, and I've been kind of a fan of this myself. I've actually bought a couple of these in my life for my personal residence, and I just kind of like it's kind of like the new car smell, right? It's a brand new house. You know, all the systems are up to date. You don't have to worry about replacing a roof anytime soon. It's all that stuff. It's a brand new house, and there's a newness to it that is fantastic. That, if you're buying a used house, an older house, not that there's anything wrong with it. Lots of people do it. I've done that myself as well. But there's nothing like brand new, and it's only been yours. So that's definitely a pro of buying a brand new house. Number 2 on this pro list of buying a brand new construction is you're going to have some say in what gets done with it. Now, this is going to vary from builder to builder. Some are much more sticklers on the plans that they have it set in place with the fixtures and the customizable things. Other ones are a little bit more lenient, so it's going to be a case-by-case basis depending on the builder. But if you get in early enough, you're definitely going to have some customizable options. You're not going to be able to change floor plan, things like that. They have their engineering already in place. But you can select things like paint colors, flooring type, countertops, cabinet styles, sometimes some of the hardware inside. So, all those little details, if you get in early enough, you're going to be able to have some say in some of that. And again, it's really builder dependent and at what point you get into contract with the house. If they're already halfway through construction, you're going to have less say in that for sure. But if you get in really before they even break any ground, then you're going to have a lot more say in that. So it's not a total custom home, right? Because they have their plan already set and where it's going to sit and all that stuff. But you're going to be able to customize it to an extent to your liking and some of the features that you're looking for. So that's definitely a cool thing with the brand new construction is you have some say of how it's going to look when it's all said and done. Number 3 on the pro list of buying a brand new, newly constructed home is it's brand new. It comes with a warranty. So builders have this thing called a 210 warranty. And there's different things that apply at different time frames, okay? So most of the time, this isn't universal, but it's most of the time, at the 1-year mark, they're going to come in and fix any little stuff. By this time, after a year, the house is settled a little bit. You might have a little crack in the drywall, or you might have a little crack where the countertop meets the backsplash, things like that. And they will come in and make all those little cosmetic repairs at the 1-year mark. Anytime before then too, but they generally say wait until that 1-year mark, just so everything is said and done. They can come in one-stop shopping and take care of all those little issues. But then the longer term warranty definitely kicks in as well. You know, all the systems are under warranties. Your appliances are under manufacturer warranty. They have certain structural warranties through the first 10 years, you know, roof, crawl space, things like that, foundation issues. So your house comes with a warranty in all likelihood, because I can't even think of a builder right now that doesn't offer those. So you have a warranty built in with the house. So not only are you getting a brand new house, you're getting a guarantee that that house is still going to be in good shape. And if something starts going haywire with it, you call the builder and they have somebody come out and take care of it. So it's a definite awesome tip as opposed to buying a 50-year-old house where, you know, any home warranty is an additional cost out of pocket for you. And sometimes you're not quite sure what you're getting into. So the builder warranty is definitely an advantage to buying a brand new construction home. Last thing I want to touch on as far as an advantage for buying a brand new construction home is the instant equity you have. So think about this. You get a house under contract, say July 1st, okay? But it's still being built. In fact, they may not even have poured the foundation yet. So you might be 6 months out, 8 months out, maybe even a year out from when you actually take possession of the house and become the legal owner. But you're under contract from way back here in July. Well, between July and whenever your house may be done, 6, 8, 10 months later, the housing market's going to continue to go up. And so you're going to have instant equity. So if you got into a house, say, for $600,000, whenever you become the owner, it may be worth $650,000. And you can see this all over the place. Usually builders do their neighborhoods in phases, right? So the first homes go on sale for X price. And then when they start phase 2, guess what? Those homes are worth more and they cost those buyers more money. So by the time yours gets done, you increase that value up to whatever those other new homes are starting to go for. So you have instant equity. You almost always have instant equity when you buy a brand new house. The time lapse definitely helps with that, but it just is what it is. You have instant equity. So that's a great thing. And also realize that whole time from when you're under contract, you're not paying any money. You're not making any payments until that house is complete. And that's when you become the legal owner, and that's when it's yours. So that whole time frame, it's built equity during those, you know, like I said, 6, 8, 10 months. And when you take possession, you have it for this contract price, but it's worth this much more money. So we've covered some of the pros of buying a brand new construction home, but there's some headaches that come with it too. So let's start diving into those. And headache number 1 is what I just talked about as far as that time frame. You get under contract July 1st, but it's not going to be done for 6, 8, 10 months. Well, that's a problem for some people. I mean, what are they going to do? Where are they going to live? So this isn't for everybody. It's got to be something that you realize is going to be spaced out. And here's another problem is I guarantee there's going to be delays. If the builder says it's going to be done January 1st, it's not going to happen. It's going to be late, especially in today's age. You know, COVID really threw a wrench into all of this stuff. There's supply chain issues, you know, there's labor issues, there's all this sort of stuff. And while we're coming out of the labor issue part of it, the supply chain thing is still a real deal. So when they order shower doors or faucets or whatever, they may be months away from actually getting them. So there's always delays. Historically, there's always been delays. They're even exaggerated more now because of the times we're in. So just expect that it's going to take a while to get your house done. And there's things that come into that aren't always great. So one of the key things that is not great about continuous delays goes on with the lender and what interest rate that you're locked at, because they need to do extensions. They only can lock rates for so long, and when that date comes and goes, you have to pay for an extension. So, and this is totally out of your hands. I mean, you cannot speed up the builder. I've had clients literally throw temper tantrums saying that the builder needs to get it done. Well, you know, this is another downfall of going this route, is you are really at the builder's time schedule. And if they need to delay it for whatever reason, if they're not keeping up, it's kind of too bad, so sad. And if you cancel the contract, truthfully, the builders don't really care, because they'll just turn around and sell it to somebody else. And remember how I talked about you're building that equity over those months? Well, if you cancel the contract, sometimes they're even happy about it because it's 3 months later, and now they'll just sell that house for $20,000 more. So you really have to have some patience here. You really have to realize that the builder sets the time frames. You cannot speed them up at all. And you just have to be patient and realize that it's going to take some time. And it's really important that you have a good relationship with the lender. You realize that they may charge you for these rate locks. Sometimes they waive the fee or they absorb it themselves. Sometimes the builders want you to use their preferred lender. And this is something we're going to dive into right now. Using the builder's preferred lender may be an advantage and it may be a disadvantage. Okay, so some builders will require that you at least get pre-approved with their lender. You know, they have an established relationship with this lender and they trust them. And if that lender says you're good to go, then they feel good about getting under contract with you. Doesn't mean that you necessarily have to use them, but you might have to get pre-approved with them at least, go through that process. The lenders are always going to come out and say, we're the preferred lender and we are going to give you X amount of credit towards your closing costs as an incentive to use that. Well, they're not just giving away money. I mean, really read the fine print, and they may be giving you a credit, but is their interest rate higher? Also ask them about those lock extensions, because it's no fault of yours that the house is getting delayed. So why should you absorb the cost for those lock extensions, right? And if they're the preferred lender of the the preferred lender of the builder, well, then they should absorb that cost for you or do those extensions for you at no charge. You really work with them on that, really read the fine print and compare it to a lender that you may have a relationship with or a lender that I may refer you to, and really see who's the better deal. It's not always your closing costs. They may be giving you a credit of a few $1,000s, but if they're charging you a half point higher on your interest rate, they're going to make that money up really quick. So really look into all of that stuff. It's not necessarily a con. It's not necessarily a pro. It's something that you really want to look into, though, and make sure that you're set up with the correct lender that's going to be able to handle those extensions and give you the best possible deal. So another con for buying a pre-sale, pre-construction home is you are really locked into what the builder has going on. And so we touched on in the beginning that a pro is that you can customize your home somewhat, right? Well, it's a case-by-case basis and it depends when you come in. But once you have things set, any changes take an act of Congress. Okay, they're not going to move walls for you. They're not going to put additional windows in for you. They're not going to do any structural changes whatsoever. And once the flooring is selected, say, or the paint colors are selected or what have you, you can't go back and change those things. And depending when you come in the process, for example, if you get under contract with a home that's partially built and it's, say, being framed, chances are all those items are already selected for you and there's no change in it. So it's not a custom home. It is a spec home that if you're lucky, you can customize some of it. And again, the earlier you get under contract with one of these, the more options you'll have. But once you make those choices, you are set. And the builder's not going to make any changes for you. So just be prepared. There's no changing your mind halfway through and wanting to move things around. It's just not going to happen. So I just want to kind of sum up the negative aspects or the disadvantages of pre-sales. And I've kind of touched on bits of this throughout all of the cons that we've laid out. But the biggest thing is once you're under contract and you have this going, you just have very little say in anything going forward. You really have to be flexible and mold to the builder. And there's going to be delays. And that's just how it is. So you have to be prepared for those. There's not going to be anything about calling your real estate agent and having them tell the builder that they have to speed it up. It's impossible. Your real estate agent has no control over the builder whatsoever. The builder is going to do it to their schedule, to their labor, and to their materials available. And that's just how it is. You have to have those expectations set going in. And like I mentioned, there's no change in things. Once things are set, it may not make sense to you. Right? The house is just being framed. All it is rough wood. And you're thinking to yourself, well, why can't I still pick out the hardware for the kitchen? Well, they order this stuff months and months and months in advance, and there's just no moving it around. It just is what it is. So you have to accept that stuff. So there you have it, folks. Went through a few pros of buying a brand new construction home, and we went through a few cons of having a brand new construction home. The nuts and the bolts of it is brand new, warranty, some customizing possibly, but it's yours and it's brand new. The negatives, you're going to have delays. You're at the builder's timetable. There's not going to be any changes once all those things are set, and you just have to roll with the punches. Okay, so that's really the big nuts and bolts of it. Anyway, my name is Darren Rivers again. I'm the Northwest Realtor. Again, all my information is right here. And share this video with somebody. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I send out videos pretty often. I wanted to say weekly, but they're usually not weekly, but pretty often, all about Gig Harbor, the surrounding area. This video obviously can apply to anywhere, really. This is Darren Rivers living in Gig Harbor. We'll see you on the next video.